Hello and welcome to the Sixth Pillar Podcast, hosted by retired Chief Neil Gang, CEO of Fourth Watch Consulting. I'm Shalyn Finstad with Techne Innovations, and today we're proud to welcome our new sponsor, Virtual Academy Training and Onsite Plus, delivering post-approved training and first responder wellness education. In this episode, we're igniting change with our Virtual Academy Ignite 2025 Voices series. And for the next 6 episodes, we'll be featuring speakers from the upcoming Ignite 2025 Wellness Summit, November 12th and 13th in Franklin, Tennessee. Today, we're honored to welcome our second featured Ignite 2025 speaker, Dr. Rachelle Zemlok, a licensed psychologist who specializes in working with first responders and their families. Dr. Zemlok previously served as the Strategic Wellness Director for Lexipol and is now the founder of First Responder Family Psychology, where she is dedicated to supporting the well-being of those who serve our communities. Chief Gang, the mic is yours.
Well, welcome to the Sixth Pillar Podcast, where we have courageous conversations about organizational wellness and leadership, absent of any BS and buzzwords. We are super excited to talk about our Ignite 2025 event, sponsored by Virtual Academy and Onsite Plus, an event that's not just another wellness conference, but a call to action. And we are elevating this process where we're not a cookie cutter conference. We're talking about wellness from experienced leaders, industry leaders that are going to share some great tangible takeaways, not just for you professionally, but also personally. So we're really excited about this. We're continuing with our speaker series for Ignite 2025. We're excited about having our next speaker, Dr. Rachelle Zemlok, who's going to be covering number 7, which is family of the Asher model. So Dr. Zemlok, thank you so much for being here. And we're super excited about that. And I'll have our audience know that Dr. Zemlok, not only does amazing work in this space, but is also a spouse of a first responder. Dr. Zemlok, thanks for being with us and kind of introduce yourself to our listeners.
Yes, of course. No, I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist out of California, the Bay Area in California, and I specialize in seeing first responders, spouses, families of marriage counseling, all those good things. But what really brought me into this work was that I grew up starting in high school I have 2 older brothers, and both of them went into law enforcement. One of them met another cop. My sister-in-law is also law enforcement. They're all retired out now doing other things, but grew up as a law enforcement family member, was getting my doctorate and being a child and family psychologist, and decided to do my dissertation on some of the impacts on families. So I did my dissertation research project on the impacts of police work on law enforcement families. And that allowed me to interview officers, spouses of officers, adult children of officers, and really understand this broad family perspective of just what is happening here? What are the impacts? What are some of the resiliency factors? How are they navigating these things? And it really just opened up my mind to all the challenges that are coming up. I didn't know about these things back then. And so following that, my college sweetheart became a firefighter. Now, don't hold that against me, but I went into that marriage. Yeah, it's hard. I went into that marriage with like a head full, like dissertation, 4 years of like some of the impacts, how to navigate these conversations, what we need to get through this. And I was really like kind of motivated to like, we're going to do this right. This isn't going to impact us in a way that's going to tear us apart. Instead, we're going to build strengths here and we're going to figure this out. And it became very clear to me very soon into that no other spouse had this information. And it dawned on me that I got all of this information from my career and none of it came from the department. And I'll be honest, today still hasn't come from the department. So we're just kind of missing this, but I saw what a huge benefit it was to us. And like my husband saw the benefit of me understanding something about his life, how to navigate this, how we do this transition home, all those things. So that is what inspired me to go, I need to get more information to the families on how to navigate these relationships and family life in order to withstand the career, right? Because there are a lot of challenges that come up, and it's put me on this path to kind of speaking on the topic. And I love being able to get tools into the hands and some insights. Now that I see couples and I see law enforcement, I see the same patterns, the same things come up over and over again. So it allows me to understand, okay, here's the tools, or here's where we're missing it. And unfortunately, I don't think enough people get that. Like, no one gave us the tools. Like, this whole career, my life revolves around. We have 2 young children, 4 and 7. Like, our lives revolve around this career, and no one gave us tools on how to navigate this life. Like, they're just like, good luck. Welcome.
Yeah, and I'll let all our audience know that I personally know Dr. Zemlok. I've seen her speak. Very engaging, humor, just an amazing speaker. But not only that, just a great why mission to help the spouses of first responders. So let me ask you a question. I mean, this, 2019 was pretty much when, this wellness kind of blew up, right? That's kind of where it all took place. We're in 2025 now. And I would say that most organizations, and you just mentioned it, still are not really meeting the needs of spouses in this space. Why do you think that is?
It's hard. Like, you have talked about so much wellness, I'm sure, and all the pillars of the Asher model. There's so many pieces to wellness. And my sense is that I think that departments are overwhelmed. There's so many things that we need to address in a lot of different ways. And it's really easy to ignore the families. Like, they're just kind of over there. We don't see them. We don't hear from them usually. They're just like out there. And it's like, but almost every single employee you have has somebody connected to them that is being affected at home, right? And I see it this way, like, we know that the job has an impact on the first responder, right? On law enforcement, it impacts them. It's got all these things. This is what we're talking about. So the department tries to provide them with resources, which is wonderful. But if that person is impacted, that means there are people at home that are seeing the same thing, and they are also impacted. And then that creates stress between the relationship, and that doubles the employee's stress, right? And nobody gave that employee tools on how to navigate home stress. So that magnifies everything. And it becomes a department issue. I'm sure you can relate as law enforcement yourself. You hear about the things. If people are having family struggles or things aren't going well at home, they're not their best selves. They just, you can turn it off, but like, it's really hard to separate that. I'm sure you're probably familiar with Dr. Olivia Johnson's research on like the fatal 5 and the fatal 10 of like suicide in law enforcement. She went into all these relationship issues, was one of her top 5. Like, one of her top 5, how it contributes. And it's like, this is actually a huge deal. You know why? Because relationships at home can actually be a huge resiliency factor for folks. When things are going well and you have a support system that supports you, cares about you, knows how to, relate to you, talk to you about things, you feel good when you go home, you can navigate a lot of stress.
Yeah, I think that was very well stated. When, Lord put this on my heart about this Asher model, number 7 was family. All the other components that we see in our profession, family hit the list because it's so important. The problem is that historically, we've been told to keep our family out of work, right? Keep that separated, compartmentalized, and don't bring work home and don't bring personal life into work. And the bottom line is only a sociopath or a psychopath can compartmentalize like that. And we can't do that. So it's much more of a yin and yang. And here's the thing. We failed in our profession to include family from the onset. Now, going around the country, I've seen we started to get a little bit better in certain areas with that. However, I have yet to see this yet. I have yet to walk down the hallway and see the officer and say hello to them and say, how are you doing? And then they go, well, I'm really struggling and I'm currently addicted to opioids. I'm an alcoholic. I'm going through a divorce. I feel like killing myself. That is yet to happen. Thank goodness.
Right.
And where would the red flags be seen? At home. So if we're not creating that conduit for the family members to reach out and get help, we are going to end up losing people. At home is where the red flags will be, right? My loved one's more despondent. They're more angry. They're drinking more. They're more isolated. We need the spouses at that time to pick up the phone, clear conduit to either peer support, a command staff, somebody who's going to be able to get this person help. And here's the other part. Without a fear of retribution that they're going to lose their job because they may be the breadwinner.
Exactly.
So we have this reluctancy to call the PD and say, my husband or my spouse or my brother, fill in the blank, needs help because they're fear of that. That's where leadership steps in. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I always say, I've been invited on podcasts about suicide prevention. They're like, what's the family role in this? I'm like, the family role is that I'm the front line of defense for my husband's mental health and wellness because I'm the first one to see it. He can go to work and say, I'm good. Yeah, things are great all day long, but I see it first. I will know if he's not sleeping, if he's having nightmares, if he's having panic attacks, if he's drinking more, if he's, disconnected from us at home, he's isolated. I see it all first. By the time you see it at the department, it's really far gone, right? So if we're talking about prevention, you're exactly right. It's early stages, it's red flags, it's, hey, let's get help. And what I see is that spouses are not educated on this. So departments will run, oh, we're running this, wonderful education session on trauma or this or that, but we don't invite the spouses. I'm like, why not? Why not? Give them the education too, so that they can see it and they can talk about it and they can try and do something about it, because there's still that like want of separation. I feel it is in the department's best interest to make sure that the whole family is aware of these things. What resources do we have? Who can you reach out to? Usually the spouses have no clue who to reach out to, all those things, right? On top of that,
No,
tools to navigate this life so that we don't fall into this mess. My spouse can help me if we're both on the same page about how to get through this, which is what I'll be presenting on at the conference, is like, how do we do this? How do we navigate this life? And, in there, I can kind of be playful about it and joke, because everyone will be like, I feel like you're talking to me. It's like, I know, because a lot of you are doing the same things over and over, so I can make jokes about it. But really, at the end of the day, here's how you can navigate it differently, right? And inevitably, what I hear at the end of it, Neil, is that leaders will come up to me and say, boy, I wish my wife was here. And I'm like, it's over now. Nobody invited their spouses, right? Or they'll say, man, I wish I heard this 20 years ago. Nobody did this for me. Nobody brought this up for me. It's like, you're right. But the next generation is here. You can provide it to them. You can go listen to it yourself. As peer supporters, you need to know something about how to navigate families. I don't know if you experienced this in yours, but I have a local department who tracks, peer support talks and what they're getting people to check in about. And their biggest line on the list was family. People are talking about family stress. And so I'm like, whoa, that's a big deal. Out of a year's worth, what do you guys do for families? Nothing. Like, it's speaking to you right there, but they're like nothing. It's like all the stress is at home, right? Sometimes it's like, I can deal with work stress, but this other stuff, these people that, I care about and are a huge part of my life, like, I don't know how to deal with that. So hoping to provide tools to the audience.
Yeah, and that's what we keep talking about, right? This Ignite 2025 is not just a cookie cutter conference. It's about giving you tangible takeaways, both in your personal life and professional life, because we know as experienced people with lived experience in this profession that those two things have to be integrated. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful. And the bottom line is, my opinion is, we've had a couple of missing puzzle pieces when it comes to this wellness initiative, this multi-billion-dollar industry now. One is family, and the other is leadership. And those are two of the things that we're going to bring forward at Ignite 2025 in Nashville. And we're super excited about that. So just tell maybe a little nugget that we can give somebody about what they're going to hear from you. And then I'm going to ask you one other question, and then we'll have you give people an opportunity to find out where you're located and how they can reach out to you.
Absolutely. So I think that because I see all first responders, couples, support spouses, and do this, like I said, I see the same things over and over again. So there are areas that people struggle with, that transition home. How do I talk about work? I try not to bring work home. And it's like, okay, we're creating emotional distance here. We don't want that. How do we do it differently? So what I try to do in my talks is like, what are the key things that I can get in the amount of time I've been given that I know people are struggling with, because I hear it all the time, and giving my best tools and tips on those so that people can walk away with these things and apply it immediately. Like, I am a tools person. Like, let me give you something you can take home today and change how things are going and make it differently in order. My ultimate goal is always, how can you do this career effectively and balance your life? As we know, the next generation and everyone wants to know, how do I do it differently and keep carrying forward, right? And so those are the kind of tools that I want to give people. So I'm really excited about that. And just in general, if you're in front of a department and want to, like, and you're missing the families, like, you're missing a huge piece of the puzzle. And I just want to make sure I give people the insight around what might be missed, why it's important, what you could do for families. If you're a leader in your department or you're peer support, like, what are some easy things that a department of any size could start doing immediately, right? And make sure that people walk away with those insights as well.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot, Dr.
Great.
Zemlok. I want you to look in the camera, and I want you to give one tip to either a future leader of our first responder community or a leader right now when it comes to family, what would it be?
So one, I think engaging the families is step one for sure. Here's something that's really scary to leaders: connecting the families to one another, because they're all going to talk, right? Well, what are they going to say to each other? And there's a lot of fear around that. But what I'll say is, like, one of the biggest things that I have seen make a difference for spouses is connecting to other spouses who get the life. First responders walk into their job and they have their whole support network right there. Everyone around them gets it. As a spouse, you're isolated, nobody gets it. Everything feels more stressful when you feel like you're the only one and you're alone. But I run spouses groups. I see these spouses get together. And when they start to feel like, oh, I'm not alone, other people are going through this, it reduces their stress. And I haven't changed their life or schedule at all. Right. So just connecting families together in any way you can do that, I see such massive benefits from that. That would be my advice.
That's awesome. And I am super excited to just be present and to hear you speak. I know it's going to be impactful, and that's the reason why we invited you. We know that you're the industry leader when it comes to family, to first responders. So just share with everybody where people can reach out to you if they want to reach out to you now and connect with you. Give people where they can locate you.
Absolutely. My website, First Responder Family Psychology. You can find me on there. Super easy to get a hold of me. Just shoot me an email. It comes to me directly. I'm very responsive. You can find me on Instagram. And I've got so much content out there specifically for first responder families because I felt like I couldn't find it when I wanted it. So I've got blogs and videos and tips. And so if you're looking for something specifically for families, always feel free. Reach out. I'm happy to get back to you and try to give you some links to things that maybe I've already created.
Well, there you are, people. Now it takes some initiative to reach out and get the help we need, right? So
Absolutely.
Dr. Zemlok will be there.
Thank you.
We're excited about having her there. Seats are limited by design. We're doing this purposefully. We want this to be a very connected type of event. Speakers are not coming in and then flying out. They're going to be there to answer your questions, and you can meet them personally. We're excited about seeing you on November 11th and 12th in Nashville. And I can just tell you that we're super excited about what Virtual Academy Onsite Plus is doing. They made a strong commitment to wellness. We're super excited about partnering with them in this Ignite 2025, as well as this podcast. And I have a couple of messages. If you're out there continuing to serve this profession, you'll always be needed, wanted, and appreciated. Again, if you're serving this profession with a servant heart, and you're doing the right things for the right reasons, you may not hear this enough from people in our community, but you'll always be needed, wanted, and appreciated. And the other thing is, one person, we always say, could change the world. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, they changed the entire world. Don't think you can't come to Ignite, get tools, and change what's going on in your personal life, as well as your professional life. And I'll leave you with this. Be the spark that fuels the enduring flame. We look forward to seeing you in Nashville. God bless.
Thank you.
We extend our gratitude to retired Chief Neil Gang for leading today's exploration of wellness and leadership for our extraordinary first responders. A special thank you as well to our new sponsor, Virtual Academy and Onsite Plus, delivering post-approved training and first responder wellness education. This is Shalyn Finstad signing off on behalf of Techne Innovations and the Six Pillar Podcast. Be safe and hope to see you at the summit.